What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucker News. Email us at muthatruckernews@gmail.com. You know, a lot of people have been wanting me to talk about this scam that this trucking company tried to do. We actually covered this news back when it happened. It says here, a trucking company tried to buy insurance just 1 hour after a fatal wreck that killed 5 people. Definitely rest in peace to the 5 people. It destroyed 3 generations.
On the afternoon of June 13th, a Caminantes truck drove up I-25 in Weld County carrying a load of mail. Documents from Colorado State Patrol investigators show the truck was traveling 75 miles an hour when it crashed into the back of a car that had slowed down for traffic, moving just 5 miles an hour. A federal report shows the truck driver had no commercial driver's license, or CDL.
A company involved in a wreck that killed a family of 5 in Colorado last year attempted to buy insurance for the uninsured truck in minutes. And here is actually a text that you can see the image here. And it says here from the owner, please add this vehicle to our insurance full coverage. And the value is $18,000, right? And the crazy part about all this is, he was carrying mail. So the USPS, they weren't doing a good job checking the carriers, the contractors that work for them. From this, the driver has 5 counts of felonies. Jesus, a 26-year-old, that was the truck driver in the wreck. Definitely they're looking into this. And the trucking company, Caminantes Trucking, actually has a history of unlicensed truck drivers. Now you're thinking it's 1 or 2. No, it's like they had over 92 trucks. They were operating on the U.S. roads and highways, and none of them were covered with insurance. At the end of the day, it is so crazy that things like this start happening. People are cutting corners. And so a part of this as well, I wanted to have an insurance company on, and I actually got the CEO some information here that might help you out. So hopefully this is good for you, give you some information. But the biggest thing is, it's not about getting the cheapest coverage. It's actually about getting the one that will cover your butt for what you're doing. So make sure you pay attention to that, because accidents do happen. You're driving a big truck, and I definitely want you to be covered correctly. So, Mutha Truckers, comment down below. But yeah, crazy story, man.
What's going on, Mutha Truckers? Welcome to Mutha Trucker News. We're hanging out right here. I really want to let all the truck drivers know that getting the right insurance is really important, and that's what keeps you in business. And it's about protecting your business, right? And so, who we got here today?
Hey, I'm Chad Eichelberger. I'm president of Reliance Partners, based here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, I love it.
Ronald Ramsey, Chief Commercial Officer at Reliance Partners.
Man, I got some heavy hitters here today. I ain't nobody, just my mama watches me on YouTube, so I appreciate you guys right here. So, now we know that all truck drivers need insurance. So what's the lowdown? Give us some lowdown of, some of the myths. Tell us, who wants to take this first question on? What kind of insurance should a driver get?
Well, I mean, everybody has to get auto liability. It's required, and in most cases, physical damage, and you got to have motor truck cargo if you're going to get loads. But 2, you've got to understand the type of insurance you're buying, your exposure, the commodities you're hauling. You've got to be clear on that on your application. You've got to go and understand the different forms that are out there. Driver negligence, is it covered or is it not? We sell hundreds of different policies for motor carriers across the country. We insure more small fleets, more fleets than anybody in the country, over 10,000 trucking companies. But there are different types of coverage, and you can buy on price, you can buy on coverage, and we strongly encourage people to buy on coverage.
So if you are like a single owner operator getting into this business, what is the recommendation so that their business is completely safe?
Well, 1, you're going to be looked at as a new venture. They're going to look at experience. They're going to look at where you're based out of, what radius you're going to operate in, any type of issues with your MVR. All of that comes into play. Any loss history, anything you had before, any type of history you have. When we underwrite any risk, or we go to our underwriters to underwrite the risk, they're looking at IFTAs, they're looking at moving violations. I mean, you have so many things that are going to come into play, and you've got to understand exactly what that is, and you've got to tell that story to the underwriter in a way that an agent can articulate it accurately, so you get a price, and you also don't turn around and bind with somebody and learn later that, oh, my rates just went up because I operate beyond 500 miles, or I added a new driver that's only been driving for 6 months and my rates increased. So there's a lot to understand, and you've got to be thorough when you're looking through this.
Thing that you guys get a lot of questions about and that you'd like truck drivers to know?
Well, we get a lot of questions. I was just in Chicago last week and talked to a bunch of different trucking companies. A lot of questions on, how you get flagged as chameleon. We're seeing lots of theft issues right now, lots of chameleon carriers, lots of impersonation. But when you do get flagged by one of the monitoring services, what should you do if you haven't done that? If you have had a scenario before that you've been involved in, how you can explain that. And so we're seeing a lot of that right now. One of the things we encourage everybody doing, a lot of people that are having their own name defrauded, is you've got to pay attention. You've got to keep your information up to date on the FMCSA website. You've got to protect your identity, one. And two, don't make an exception for one time a buddy that doesn't have authority anymore that wants to haul load. It is not going to help you at all, and all it's going to do is cause major issues and potentially put your entire business at risk. So we're seeing a ton of that. It's a hot button issue. There are new services out there and existing services that are looking for it. You've got to be above board.
What are the basics that they should really know about before getting their insurance? What type? I mean, besides giving you guys a call, right? So
That's right. But it's a big commitment, right? So it's more expensive than you think it's going to be. So make sure you got all your ducks in a row. You got a truck you got to buy, you got insurance you got to buy. There's a lot of things you got to do. But you can be very successful if you partner up with the right people like Reliance Partners for your insurance.
yeah, I love that. No, I appreciate you guys. No, thank you so much.
No.